Welcome back, everybody, to another Culz Reviews live from the movie theater. Well, at least live in our case. It is late at night, so you guys won't be getting this till the AM. But that's because we just got out of the movie Ghostbusters Afterlife. Yeah! Woo! Now, you might have guessed that from the music if you can hear it. I'm not sure if you can, but there's a car. We'll splice it in at some point. You'll see it. They're playing the Ghostbusters theme, so hopefully it doesn't get taken down.
Ecto 4x4.
I have.
Huh?
How much is?
There were tears shed.
So we just got out of a movie tonight. We watched Ghostbusters, and we come out and we see this thing right here with Slimer driving. This is Peter over here. This is his vehicle. Peter, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Hey, so if you all have wives or whatnot, don't let your wives inspire you. Started with a satellite dish on the side of the house. And she goes, what are you going to do with that thing? I said, well, I could shine the back of it and go down the hill like National Lampoon's Vacation. Or, she goes, well, or you can put it on top of your car like Ghostbusters. And 7 years later, here we are. Now, I can only do it for a month and a half because I got to get the car back in the garage. And the wife also puts a limit on $200 a year. So I can only buy so much, right? So put a limit on it, otherwise you're going to go nuts.
So what I gotta do with Criterion?
So if you're looking out there, you want to see some pictures of where I've been, where I'm going, hashtag Ecto 4x4, and you'll figure out where I've been.
That's pretty awesome, man. Thanks for showing us.
Yeah, thanks for showing in. So, your thoughts on the movie?
I thought the movie rocked. The tribute at the end, no spoilers. I'd keep it kind of down low. Wait until the end. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It doesn't wreck it. It's great. I can't wait to watch it again.
So, out of the three, where does it rank for you?
Since I have teenagers, it ranks number one for me. But to tell you the honest truth, I also grew up with number one, so I'm also stuck on number one as well.
That's where we were.
Yeah.
One gives you the idea. 2 is okay, and then three with girls. 1 didn't wreck it, kept it alive. 4 locked it in with Ramus and everything else. So I mean that's huge.
So this one's just going to be our brief review. At some point we have been talking about actually doing some movie essays. So hopefully we'll be able to do the 3 now in the trilogy. They finally got their Ghostbusters trilogy, unless you count the video game, which you want to see us play that, we can. So joining me, also I'm Keegan. Right here is...
Hi, I'm Andrew.
So obviously this picks up after both the first Ghostbusters and then the second one that came out in 1989, so it's been a while. But it kind of, I guess, picks up in actual time as well in the movie. So Harold Ramis unfortunately did pass away, so I guess they kind of really wrote that into the story. Egon passes away pretty early on. I mean, that's not a spoiler. Everyone, I think, would have guessed that would have happened. I mean, they did say it in the trailer as well. His, daughter and grandchildren go out to the farm. And that's when they start kind of finding all the stuff. Obviously, like Ecto 1 was there, some of the ghost traps, the proton pack. So that was kind of cool. We'll have a little spoiler section at the end, but we'll warn you guys. And then, some crazy stuff starts happening. We saw it in Dolby, so obviously our seats shook. I really enjoyed that. Definitely recommend Dolby. I know people go for IMAX, but I am a Dolby. I think over an IMAX.
Absolutely.
Me too as well.
Sound over picture for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, it has good picture too, and better seats. So, until IMAX gets some nice seats, is what we're gonna be doing. So I guess favorite parts. Favorite part. No, we'll wait for that because that is a spoiler. So we'll just kind of judge it. First off, how did the acting? What do you guys think of it?
I thought it was fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yes, I'm right there as well. Very well done. Very, very much like the 80s. It had the light humor in there as well. The actors did very well. Actresses, very well done.
It was a great nostalgia
feel. The kid
feel.
actors did really well as well. Usually that's the make or break.
Yeah.
But much like a Super 8, the acting with the kids were really good. Special effects.
I think they did great. I mean, they matched it pretty close to all the
Hellhound.
You're getting into my favorite part.
I know. We'll get to it. But I mean, just saying the practical effects and the CGI when they used it did, you know, kind of, it looked like they attempted to make it look like it was from the 80s. And that's what I appreciate.
Well, yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Is like absolutely being, you know, that it was made so long afterwards. You really worried about like they're going to make this look too realistic. It's going to look like fucking too amazing that it's not believable. But I thought they did a great job.
Or too cartoony. Sometimes, especially when people think of a comedy movie, it's too cartoony.
Yeah. But
And the original Ghostbusters wasn't. I mean, it had its funny moments, but it, in the long term, it was really about small business. And there was serious parts, there was sciencey parts, then there was the funny parts. And I think this did blend it all pretty well.
Yeah, very well. But yeah, no, it was graphic, nothing wrong with it. It really did feel like it was part of the trilogy.
Alright, we'll give our rating after the spoilers. So once you see the spoiler warning drop, turn that volume back up. So we're getting into spoilers, last warning for you guys. So favorite parts?
God, Demon Dogs for sure. The second the fucking eye popped out.
Red.
Yeah, I was like, yes, yes. There was another part in it as well with the Stay Puft Man.
Oh yeah,
And
Andrew definitely got excited.
I was
over
like,
the
yes,
theater.
yes. It was adorable too.
Yeah.
It was adorable. And then it turned hilarious.
It did.
And then a little dark.
I'm right there with the Walmart scene where Paul Rudd comes around the corner and there's this big fucking dog looking thing eating out of a dog bag and he throws the fucking
Ice
half
cream
gallon
at
of
it.
ice cream at his head.
It was good.
And runs. It's like, that was just great. But yeah, no, to see the hellhounds, holy shit. Just, it was great.
Seeing Gozer come back.
Yeah, David Bowie.
Yep. I was pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of nostalgia, be it when, you know, the Proton Pack came out, or, you know, the Ecto 1 driving around.
Like I said, there's lots of parts. It's really hard to like narrow down. There were several parts that stood out, but
This
the Walmart scene was...
This might be my favorite since the first one.
I was going to say this takes number 2 in my cake. Number 2 drops to the third, at least of my favorites. Number 1 is still your top dog.
It's hard to beat.
Ultimately the best, yeah.
I was a little sad. I was a little disappointed. Slimer wasn't in it.
I know,
And
I kept waiting
to
for him
me-
to make that cameo.
To me, Slimer really is a mascot. I know it's like, you know, hating Pikachu in Pokemon.
Yeah, and
because-
they kind of have like a new Slimer-esque ghost.
Yeah,
And once they introduced it, I was like, oh, this is going to take over for Slimer. And when Slimer didn't show up in the kind of ghost montage, which they always have in the first two, I was a little sad. But I will say, to see the three back together and then to see what they, you know, how they added, you know, Egon back into it.
Yeah.
You know, that
I
was,
think
to see the four back on screen again, that was...
Not to actually have him there, but to have him there was really neat.
Yeah.
I don't think you really could have asked for any better had he not passed away, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, the last time the four actually were together was the video games, so we'll definitely have to jump into that at some point. We'll do
No,
some
I agree.
Let's Plays.
Absolutely.
I'll pick that up. Yeah, there's lots of good parts. Obviously, you know, the Walmart scene, I think everyone was enjoying. I also enjoyed the opening. It seemed kind of dark, actually. So I definitely enjoyed that. And the comedy, I think there was a lot that stuck. And then there was some, obviously, that didn't, but for the most part, it was pretty...
No, I agree totally.
All right, so that's our brief. Like we said, this is just initial reactions. We'll actually do a, you know, trilogy movie essay where we talk about the three of them.
Yeah.
Really in depth and really go into what makes them good, why they connect with us, etc. So stay tuned for that. So final ratings, what would you give it, Culz?
Well, one thing that pisses me off is these goddamn millennials acting like they know the whole fucking series, like they grew up with this shit, screaming and cheering when our fucking heroes came on the screen. It's
No,
like, hey, whoa.
technically, I'm still a millennial.
Yeah, technically
Well,
we are.
You still though
You're
were
an
from
X.
you were from the time frame though. You technically were born the year the second one came out.
You're talking-
So
you're
it's
talking-
part of
what
your
is that?
childhood.
Yeah, but
Ghostbusters 5 years ago, before the female version came out, didn't exist in kids' heads. Now it's big again.
Yeah, because you had the cartoons when we were young.
I mean,
You had all
Yeah.
the games.
don't get me wrong.
You gotta watch.
it's-
We should sit down and watch all
Right.
the
Watch
cartoons.
the series?
Heck
Yeah.
But I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm excited that they're excited about it, but don't act like you grew up with the shit. We did. I did.
All I care about is
There
the
wasn't that
people.
many kids in there, to be fair.
There were teenagers. Dude.
Yeah, but
come on.
teenagers,
They were all
It's-
hooping
you know
and
what?
hollering.
As
That's
long
they-
as they're into it, that's all
Hey,
that matters. As
hey.
long as it continues on in different generations, to me, that's all that matters.
Yeah, to see Bill Murray and Ernie and
Oh, Bill Murray.
Dan Aykroyd, I was just like, Dan Aykroyd. I was glad to see him, you know. And then I don't know if that was a stand-in or CGI for Harold, but it looked great. So ratings,
12.5 out of 4.
okay. So I don't know what math he's using. All right, math.
It's solid 9 out of 10.
Fuck you.
Solid 9.
Fuck you. I'm sorry.
Hey,
I should.
The first one is you can't top that first one.
Yeah,
I can't go higher
Ghostbusters
than a
one's
10
10 out of
10.
10. So
This one's solid 9.
I'd give it a solid 9.
Well,
I'd
it
agree
said,
with that.
no, I would agree with that.
Nostalgia
concept.
was 100
No,
out of 10. So I mean,
Yeah,
I get that.
If you were going with that, like, say my scale is, the 4 out of 12.5, so then the
Better-
first
better
would have been a 13.5 out of 4.
Alright, so that's our just brief one. Like we said, we're going to do a more in-depth one at some point. But if you want to see more of us doing some more Culz reviews, click that link over Andrew. If you want to see more of us just here at Culz Paranormal, click that link over me. And don't forget to hit that like and give us a
Subscribe.
and let us know, have you seen this movie and what did you think of it?